She's like, do you want a martini too? And I was like, wait, are you drinking the espresso martinis? And she's like, yeah.
I feel perfectly fine, just
like,
so you know.
I was like,
there's no, I wouldn't.
Those are 12%, babe. I was like, White Claws are like 4.5%.
I still feel nothing.
Yay, so Bethany will be tipsy on this interview. I am fucking amped. Hey guys, welcome back to the Dark Collective podcast. And not only are we here with Bethany and Jen, they're together. I'm very jealous, but they are in Connecticut with Jen at Jen's house. And they've been together all weekend. And so we want you guys to hear of the shenanigans that has gone on.
Shenanigans. We had fun time. So much fun. We didn't realize how busy we'd been until last night whenever we were snuggling in bed and we were like, I'm exhausted. And then I was like, I just picked you up yesterday morning. Like, why are we so tired?
It was a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, but there's got to be a reason. So then Jen just goes through and tells me their whole schedule. And Bethany's just laying on her shoulder like, yep, that's what happened.
Yeah. It was pretty cool because yesterday we got to have brunch with a few Sinners and Stardust authors.
I feel left out.
For 2025. Oh yeah, we didn't take pictures. I took one video and sent it to Jess and didn't even save it to my phone. So it was on Snapchat. That's not my bad. But yeah, we saw CM Hutton, Desiree Nikolai, Rose Cedar, and Katie. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought there was like one more author, but there wasn't. Oh, her.
It was me. I was there.
I was like, there were 6. Who else? Myself.
And if you guys don't remember just from the very 5 minutes ago from our intro, Bethany has had a 12% espresso martini in the morning. So she is doing my favorite thing in the whole wide world, which is smiling a lot. So when you went with the authors, like, what was it like just being able to like hang out with them? I feel like that's readers like number one, like
it was
one
so much
is
fun.
They are so fantastic.
Well, because it's like you always worry, like, oh my God, are we going to get along? But then you have to think like all of us have, if nothing else, we have one thing in common, and it's like books and dark books for the most part. So it was like we all just connected instantly, and we're just like joking. The amount of times that penis was said at the table.
We were like, there's a group next to us, and they'd old gentlemen just like
old man and woman, and then like their grandkids or something. And at one point we were talking about something, and I literally, we had bottomless mimosas, and I literally was like, penis, and I was like, and it was awful. It was so funny, but I felt so bad.
Honestly, it was so loud in there.
Yeah,
they would have had to have been
so
listening to our conversation. That would have been their first mistake.
Yeah.
So
that was on them. We were talking about all the different penises in books, like the monster tentacles. We're still trying to figure out the look of Becca Westrup's demon penis because we don't know how that works yet. But we're planning on drawing it tonight to send to her to be like, "Is this what it looks like?" Yeah, that's the plan.
Well, to be a fly on the wall in that restaurant. Just to say, because Jen was like, oh, I'll FaceTime you so you can meet everyone. And so I'm literally just sitting around just waiting. And then she never FaceTimes me. I'm like, cool, thanks. Fun.
We were having so much fun. And then
it's fine.
We all had to pee. And then the bathroom was closed in the restaurant. They broke down. So then we had to rush out of the restaurant to all go pee.
It was a collective pee.
And then we had to rush because there was a Mystic Irish parade yesterday. So then we had to like all load up in the, we did. The other girls didn't go. They had to go home. But me and Bethany and my cousins loaded up in the car, and all the roads are closed, so I'm literally on my map, like, all right, I think there's a road up here. Turn right. All right, go this way, because we had to do all the back roads. And then we got to watch the parade, and it was a good time. We had fun.
That's awesome.
And then I was like, oh my God, I never fixed my bread.
I think it's just like dawning on all of us. Sinners and Stardust is less than 5 months away.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and speak to me. I'm like,
Jen is inside internally just denying it. She's like, no, it's 2025. It's over a year away. We're fine.
So much time. We're good. So much time.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Speaking of, I'm not going to say who, but as of right now, we have 52 confirmed authors.
Ooh. You guys, if you don't realize it, we started 2024 in May of 2023. So, it's crazy to think that, our first event is literally coming up in less than 5 months, but then 2025 is already like steamrolling on its way,
Yeah.
venues and plans. And as a Dark Collective, we have seriously already like hit the ground running. And I think that you guys should just be amped because we've already learned so much from year one, and year one hasn't even happened yet, to make year two even so much better.
Yeah, I'm ready for it.
I'm so ready for it.
It's gonna be fun.
So while you guys are together, have you been making anything cool, or can you tell anybody what you were making or doing for the event?
I've been making memories. We were working on the announcements for 2025 for authors, vendors, influencers. We're working on fun little NDAs for influencers. We're working on all the legal stuff realistically right now.
Yeah. I'm working on spreadsheets. Nobody's surprised.
Spreadsheets. And then we have we have like a list like this long we have to get through between today and tomorrow. So that's going to be a fun time.
I love
And French onion soup.
And French onion soup.
You're getting tattoos and French onion soup?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
To get a tattoo. Pedicures.
Oh.
Got
it.
It's like that.
My Lord.
Yeah.
I think it's, when Jenn and any of the Dark Collective are together, it is always fun. Like when we're all together, we have a ton of fun, but we are always doing something revolving around Sinners, even if it is just talking about something or getting ideas out. And I literally, like today is just one of those days where we're like, okay, so what are we doing this week? How are we planning? How are we doing this? And like, it's crazy. If you guys ever want to start an event, just know it's crazy. And it's a lot of work.
Like some of these events, I don't know how you guys do it whenever it's like 5-6 months. And like, I would be having a panic attack every single day. Like we were a year and a couple months out, and I'm still like, there's no time. We need more time. Like it's crazy. Put like multiple events on a year. I'm like, ma'am, I could not keep track of everybody. Two max, and I would have to bring on more people on the Dark Collective. Maybe we'll put up interest wars.
Right? Who wants to be a part of this group?
Yeah, this is crazy. It's
like a whole board of people.
But they just have to be as colorful as I am, or it'll be incredibly boring.
We're just like
all right, you guys. So with that being said, we have an amazing interview for you guys today. Bethany, who are we interviewing today?
We are interviewing the absolutely wonderful Alexandria Lee.
Awesome. All right, you guys. So please check out Miss Alexandria Lee. All right, you guys. We are here with the amazing Alexandria Lee. Hello.
Hi. Very happy to be here.
We are stoked to have you. By the way, if you guys aren't watching this on YouTube, she has the most amazing hair. It looks like dragon fire. I'm obsessed with it.
Thank you. I always felt like I was destined to be a redhead. My natural hair is like this like chestnutty color, which was nice for a while, but then I was an adult and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna dye it the color that I feel like I have been destined to be since I've been born. If it's my personality, if it's all the things.
I love that you both have red hair and red lipstick on right now. It like makes me
As I was putting it on, I was like, I wonder how much we're gonna match.
Oh, it's fine. My hair is not down because it's dirty, because I hate washing my extensions. That's just my life. But no, I feel the same way. Like I wanted red hair from the minute that I feel like I hit puberty. I felt like I was destined. And then I basically got a nickname in high school because I wore red lipstick in every water polo game because my hair was actually black. And so the name came before the hair, but then Little Mermaid influenced me because I'm obsessed with Ariel.
Funny for the hair. I would just wear a lot of, because I did theater for a very long time. I would just wear a lot of red wigs for shows, and I was like, something about this just looks right. Let me just sew this into my scalp.
Perfect.
red
I love
like
it. Like literally, that's what I do. I sew my hair in. So if I don't, I look like Cynthia from the Rugrats because I have no hair.
What else do you call yourself?
That was a very low laugh.
Right, Cynthia or something else?
I said Cynthia from the Rugrats. Like literally, I'm
something else. You call yourself something
else.
Yes.
Oh my God. What are those ugly ass rats called?
Oh God.
What is it called?
A naked mole rat?
A naked mole rat. I look like a naked mole rat.
No. Then Rufus is real cute from Kim Possible.
Adorable.
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
I will
Just
not
like
hear Rufus slander.
So, what genres do you write?
I write romance, obviously.
Okay.
Contemporary, forbidden, angsty, dark, age gap. All stories about people fucking and falling in love who shouldn't be, you know?
Love that.
That's
my
what
favorite
calls to me. I'm like, does it hurt? Should I write about it? Yes.
If it hurts, we're gonna write it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Write it,
Yep.
read it.
If my chest ache in all the right ways, I'm gonna write about it.
That's perfect.
I think it was perfectly blunt. You're like, angsty. If they shouldn't do it, they should do it. Like, if they shouldn't be fucking, they should be fucking. Like, that was the best, like, passive way of saying that. That was perfect.
Thank you. It's kind of my author tagline is "Love is more fun when it's wrong," so it's just the explicit version of that, I suppose.
It's perfect.
I love that.
That should be a sticker. I'm just saying.
T-shirt.
I'm so bad at marketing. I write the everything else I'm very bad at. But that's a great idea. How I've not thought about literally just making my logo into a sticker. That's so bad. No, I have one. No, I do. I have one. Here, I forgot. No, I got it. I'm just a Swiss cheese brain. That's me.
Swiss cheese. You're like, actually, I have those. Like, wait a
They're
minute.
literally right over here.
Because you have people like me, Jenn and Bethany, that like our cups are just all stickers. Like and I love it because when people see it, they like, what's a smut? And I'm like,
What's
never mind.
What you're like, look away.
Mine is just it's very boring.
Hey, it's terrible.
One of mine is so fun story. My daughter is 13 now, but when she was 11, maybe 12, I had a water bottle that's covered in stickers, and she took it to school one day, and it has a ghost like this.
That ghost?
Oh yeah, this one.
That one right there.
Yeah, and a bunch of other ones like shut the fuck up and take that dick, like, but like, not the full thing. Yeah, there were a bunch of those. So she came home and I was like, Riley, no.
I wonder if any kids ask teachers.
And so I was like, teachers, like, please God, like she was just maybe holding her little hand over that the whole
Right
time.
over.
She's probably like 6th grade at that point. So middle school, they're all horrible.
This can't be the first or last time an author's child will do that, or a reader's child will do that.
Yeah,
like it can't be the last time.
As far as like, we talked about like dark books and that's what you write, but when you're reading, do you read the stuff that you write or do you read something completely different?
I don't like hurting myself as much as I enjoy putting other readers through pain. I'm a sensitive little soul. I get hurt very easily, but at the same time, I love feeling pain, emotional pain. John Green, him specifically. He writes angsty, painful, actually young adult, which I don't like any young adult, but if it's John Green and he wrote it, I will read it. I would lick his brain if I could. He'd probably advise me not to, but I would do it anyway. I love him so much. So anything that I think is I like lyrical, poetic kind of writing. So anything kind of there, I will veer towards it. And spice, obviously, except for John Green stuff, there's got to be spice.
That's so funny you said that because while we were in Boston last time, there's that meme. It's like choose your character where they do the shaking thing. And I literally got so excited when you were talking about that and like being sensitive and stuff. Cause I'm just like, that's me. They make fun of me because I'm like the fantasy girl. Like I like things really pretty and wings and stuff with like spice, but like some dark romance shocks me a little bit. And Jen's just like, give me all of it.
See, and I feel like there are two very different variations of dark romance. The dark romance that is kind of very, not done for shock value in any way, but like the acts that are being done are more dark. And then there's the dark romance that is like, I'm going to eviscerate you emotionally while dark stuff is happening.
Yeah.
And that's where I veer. Like, yeah, there's like sex trafficking, some kidnapping, some blah 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 blah, murder maybe. But speaking to other dark romance authors, they're like, you're kind of dark. You're like gray. But then Yeah, and I'm like, okay, I kind of see that because I don't write, stalker, knife play stuff like that, which I think is more dark. But I write like the gray, dark that will rip your heart out kind of
But
stuff.
sometimes like you like I love those too. As this one, I'm always trying to get her to read like those books that would just like devastate you.
Yes.
Try to have like read it.
When people started comparing my my trilogy to the Ravenhood series, I would grab all of those comments on TikTok and post it to be like, see, if you like the emotional devastation that came with Ravenhood, read this one.
You're like, this one's great. This is great.
Yeah. For you.
Yeah, I love how you just sounded like John Cena. That was fantastic.
I'm actually surprised.
So how would you describe the men that you write? Are they like cinnamon rolls, morally gray? Are they possessive? Like, what would you say?
I'd say definitely not cinnamon rolls if I'm just gonna like get one of them out of there. Definitely not cinnamon rolls, but they're very different in their own ways. The thing that I would say they all have in common is that they are strict and brooding and falling for women that they shouldn't be and trying very hard not to with everything inside of them. And they fail. They obviously fail.
Love
But I'd say that that's probably the main thing is that like they have a strict moral compass that gets totally rocked by the FMC.
I love that.
I'm like, what's your most popular book?
Unlawful Temptations, which is Dominic, and he is very, very strict. Very, he's a detective, so he abides by all the rules. He is in a very, very broken marriage, and then he hires his nanny, Kat, who is wild, rebellious, foul-mouthed, younger than him, just totally throws his entire world into a loophole. And we love watching him trying to like grasp at like the straws of his life, and her just being like, nope.
She said, nope. Get that out of here.
He's like, I shouldn't, but I do. And he fights it for so long. And that's what I really love about, if there is like one consistent through line with all of my books, is that it's slow burn. I need that buildup, emotional and physical buildup, because when you just get it to the point that snap, the string is so fraught and the snap is so inevitable that when it finally happens, it is so good. It is so good. It is so good. Like Insta Love has its place, absolutely. It's wonderful in its own way. I need the torturous buildup.
Mm-hmm.
The snap is what I like when I'm thinking about my books. I think about the snap. I daydream about the break.
Yeah. Like
where they
when
finally
is it going to be too much?
Mm-hmm.
Just throws them over.
That's
wonderful.
I love that.
So we saw that you have a special edition with Lit Haven Boutique.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any other special editions, or can people get that one?
Lit Havens, I believe, are sold out, but they're also coming to Sinners Stardust. And they're not, since I am obviously there, they're not going to sell my books there, but at other, what are they going to? They're going to a few other really big ones where they will be selling my book.
Awesome.
Actually, literally right over here. The last chapter just did Unlawful Temptations. So that one, I believe you can still get that one. Perfect. So my book Dancing with Sin is being done with cover to cover.
Ooh,
I saw
wow.
I was like, can I replace all of my covers with this, please? It's stunning. I don't know why I did a peekaboo just now, but it was, I can't wait. I cannot wait for it to come out. I'm so excited.
That's awesome.
I love special editions. I think that's all I've ordered from, because I'm going to a bunch of events too as a vendor. And I'm like looking at all the people and I'm like, special edition, done, special edition. You have a special edition too? Like, I love them.
Gorgeous. I'm
like, and now I get them signed. And that's really wonderful.
Yeah, no, I'm a fiend for special editions.
So that's the special edition that you have coming out really soon. Are you working on any new works or anything you can kind of tease with? Any ideas you have?
Yes. My next book coming out is Behind Closed Curtains, which is slated to come out in end of June, beginning of July. It is a standalone dark romance about a woman trapped in an abusive relationship. So it's real. It veers in that really angsty, emotional, dark place. A really beautiful storyline. I've been teasing it for a while. The pre-order's up. I started writing it last year. actually like around this time probably, and I hit a massive slump of burnout and depression, and I didn't write anything for like a year. So I've been working on it for what feels like my entire life. But it is now it's coming back. It's just going to be a really beautiful story. I think
that's exciting. I was literally just saying when we interviewed Caitlin, I was like, there's something about the word angst that I love. Like, please be angsty. What is your angst? What is making you have angst? I need to know all your angst.
It hits you. You feel, it's a word that you feel. Not all words you feel, but you feel angst inside of you. The way it rolls your mouth too, it's just yeah.
I feel like the best way I could describe it is if a book has enough angst that makes me want to throw my Kindle, it's a great book.
That's what I always go for.
So, I mean, you wrote this book in this past year. Everyone's super stoked about it. When you are not writing, though, what are some of the things that you do on your own time?
Before I became a full-time writer, I still am an actress. So I perform around Orlando where I live. I was at all the theme parks. For Universal was my main job for about 9 years, performing a show there. They closed it last year, broke my heart, still not recovered from that. And SeaWorld and Sleuths, I still perform at this murder mystery show on iDrive.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I am an actress, and I also nanny, which is funny since I did write a book about a nanny. Everyone asks, like, hey.
Everyone's like, was your real life?
Was it vibe or anything? And I'm like, oh, dear God, no.
You're like, don't put that out there.
I did rewriting it because I had written a previous version, the first draft, I suppose, during my first nannying gig ever. And I felt strange about it at the time. Obviously, it wasn't inspired by anything there other than, well, this would be a neat idea. Just the baseline of my boss. And then I started rewriting it when I decided I was going to publish, just be a published author during COVID. And I had taken up, because my main job at Universal was on pause, so I had taken up another nannying gig during COVID. And I started rewriting this book during that period. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening again. Oh my God. And right before the book published, I word vomited to my boss. I was like, so I have this book coming out. It's about a nanny who has an affair with her married boss, but I promise it's not based on anything. Please don't fire me. Yeah, but please don't. Please don't.
Right. So out of your characters, who's your favorite character you've ever written? Or do you have a favorite character?
Oh, the one that comes to my mind is Blake, which for anyone who's read the trilogy, you say his name and they'll either cry or look at you with angry daggers in their eyes, something like that. I love him so much. He is such a beautifully broken dark soul. And I think he's one of the most palpable on-page connections I've ever written with a character. So I love him very much for that reason. Also Scarlet from There's Venom in Her Kiss, one of my other books. She is wild. She is also so beautifully broken, and just, it was really fun's a strange word to apply to this, but interesting, intriguing, all of those things, to write a character who is going through such a dark place, she is so mentally unstable. And I enjoyed very much getting to write what I believe is a very apt depiction of a woman on the brink of the edge. And getting the feedback from her character specifically was like one of the most heartwarming experiences of my author career, because there were so many people who have depression and suicidal tendencies and things like that who were like, I have never felt so seen. So that was really, really heartwarming. So I think I like writing the really broken characters.
That's awesome though, because it's so great to hear that, your feedback that you got on her is great, because you hear so often, like, people are like, how could you write that stuff? Like, blah, 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 blah.
Well, people told me
it helps people. Like, so it helps people. You connect with it doesn't mean that someone it.
Exactly. Yeah, and a lot of people actually told me not to write her because they were like, readers are not going to want to read about an FMC who has these dark demons and her goal during the book is just to find a way out of her life. And I was like, I disagree. I think she has a story to tell.
But we'll like it.
She's fascinating. I love her. She's so wild and so broken because she just literally does not care. That's venom in her. There's venom in her kiss.
Okay.
There's venom in her kiss. I like that. That's great.
Yeah.
I think it's very important because, you know, all of us have friends that have friends or family or someone in our lives that went through something like that has gone through some part where they feel broken or depressed or whatever. And for me, I've had a few friends, and what took them out of that was books. It literally put them in a different world, and that's what they needed at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think everyone says, oh, the book talk world is big because of fairies or because of smut or whatever. And I'm like, nah, I think honestly, it's just because it's reaching people that weren't involved in it in the beginning. People that are in different industries and different walk different lives, all of a sudden now want to read, and they want to be a part of a community.
Yeah, it's like people seeing like, oh my gosh, there's other people that read this too. Like, it's okay for me to read about this. And because before it was like taboo or, you know, all this. Yes.
Like, could you imagine if Fabio met your main characters? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing.
Chew him up and use his bones, like pick
Right?
up.
Exactly. And I was talking to one of my clients because, you know, she knows that I'm part of this, and she just goes, so it's like sex books, like 50 Shades. And I'm like, no. It's that's like the PG version of the stuff that we do. You know what I mean? But she goes, oh, there's darker. And I was like, oh yeah, honey, there's. Oh yeah.
When you hear the hint of intrigue, you're like, oh, come, just take my hand.
How many breadcrumbs
Into this.
Exactly.
Right. And then we talk kind of about, you know, the feedback that you get from readers, but also people telling you not to write somebody. What is some advice that you wish someone would have told you when you started your journey, or that you've kind of learned along this journey?
I'm not gonna lie. When I read that question initially, I had to sit and think for a long time. I had the curling iron in my hair, and I almost burned off a piece because I was just God, I've never thought about that. What would I do differently? Something that I wish someone would have told me. And I think because when everyone comes into writing, they come into it with such passion. No one comes into it going, oh, I'm sure some people do, but the majority of writers come into it going, I have this story and this passion, and I'm just going to share it and hope for the best. And then when it becomes your career, I kept hearing people say, yeah, but you'll lose that passion. You'll lose that passion. It's going to veer something's going to shift in your brain when it becomes a financial obligation to write. And I had been told that about acting too, and it never happened. But it happened with writing. And I think if I could go back, I would tell myself that even if I couldn't feel the passion for writing anymore, it didn't mean I didn't love it. Because I was crippled by the fear of thinking I didn't love writing anymore when I went through that burnout depression phase last year. I was like, this was my soul was writing. I did it with compulsion, and because I couldn't anymore, I was heartbroken thinking I didn't love writing anymore. So I think that's what I would tell myself is, even if it's a struggle, you still love it. You still have a purpose in this community.
No, I think that's so powerful, and it just stretches across every job, every career. Like, you know, all four of us in the Dark Collective have completely different jobs. You know what I mean? And I think the term burnout and the term overworked and, you know, financial, ethical, all of that stuff, it falls into place at every time. But as long as you have a passion for it, like, have you guys ever heard I mean, it's kind of corny, but it's like, if you love what you do, it's never a job. Like, yeah. I've heard that 1,000 times, but I feel like, yes, but there's a lot of other things that are going on there. You know what I mean? Because your job can drain you, but you still have to love it at the end of the day because it's work.
Yeah. Or you can still take a break. It's okay to take a break.
Exactly.
You don't have to do it every single day.
I feel like almost that phrase is a little bit of toxic positivity.
Exactly.
It made me feel like that if I'm just applying how I felt to that phrase, I was like, well, then I guess I don't love it anymore. I'm not enjoying it. I am trapped in this really crippled place where I can't produce what I used to. to, like, I was breathing, you know, and it took a lot of research and a lot of inner work to, like, it's not something other people with burnout, they can just read a lot and they get out of it. They can change where they write. They can listen to me, change how they write, change their process, go to a different project. I tried all of that. And I was like, nothing's working. What's wrong with me? Did I just, you know, pump out all I had and now I'm empty and I have to find something else now? Like, I was devastated by that thought. I was like, I felt like such a failure. And it just took a long time that's just because that is how it's worked for other people. Other people aren't my brain. It took a different path for me. And I think I would just go back and tell myself, like, it's okay. Please give yourself grace.
I love that, though. I feel more people need to hear that. Like, there's so many people.
She's like, me. Sinners all the time. Me. You know, we've been doing Sinners for right at a year, and our brains are never turned off. And, you know, I haven't lost that passion yet, but it's still like, there are those moments where you get a little burnt out and you're like, oh my God, I just need a day. Like, I need to not think about it because I don't want, you know, to be like,
if it wasn't for those two girls right there and the group of friends that we created when I met them, I'd be burnt out. I'd be depressed because, like, that's where I was in the hair industry. Like, you know, I threw myself into salon. I opened it. I was like, I want to be an owner. And I just started falling down this path that just made me fall out of love of what I do. And then I met them and they became my new family. And it just opened up a different world for me. And they may not realize it, but, you know, it's you have to find what works for you. And it's just like you said, like, no one controls my brain. No one controls anyone else's, you know? So whatever that may be, I mean, that can be your passion. I just feel like your words are very powerful and I'm happy that people get to hear it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So back to questions. Sorry. Super serious moment.
So where do you get the inspiration for your books?
I daydream constantly. If you see me at any given moment in time and I am zoning out, I am always picturing fictional people fucking constantly. That is 24/7. It's my favorite thing to do, actually. I get excited to go to bed because I'm like, all right, day's over. Now I get to lay there and just dream about my characters. Well, not dream. I'm awake. Sorry, that was using verbiage.
It's like my dream state.
Yeah, I get excited to go to bed and just like be able to. I'm laying down. No one's bothering me. I can just think about my characters and picture the scenarios and the next chapters that are coming up. And because I'm a very visual writer, so I get really excited to do that at night. That sounded so strange. Daydreaming. Wow, I could have just said daydreaming, and I did a whole answer.
It's beautiful. That's fine. We love the long answers.
So speaking of, you know, we've talked about us, like, with Sinners and Stardust. So, like, you know, it is a lot, but we definitely have a passion for it. But for you, what are you most excited about for Sinners and Stardust?
Oh, I feel like saying the ball is too obvious because everyone's excited for that. I still haven't gotten my dress yet, though, because I still have no idea what I'm gonna wear. Everything I keep finding has trains, and I'm like, you can't. People are gonna. They take it right. Someone would step on it, and I'd be naked. So
the whole back just ripped off.
Just exactly, yeah, and it's just my ass. Which is a nice ass, so maybe I'll do that. Who knows?
Like stage when it happens, so we could mark it off.
I have a lot of readers that have been with me since I first published who are in Boston that are coming that I'm very excited to meet. I don't know that I've ever had readers come to a signing specifically to see me before. So I feel very, very honored and very touched. And I'm very excited to see them. So I'm very excited for that. And, oh, yes. Boston, it's where the John Keats Library is in Boston. And John Keats is my favorite poet, so I'm very excited to go there and see his library. It's funny, my best friend, who's actually coming with me as my assistant, tried to surprise fly me to Boston for my birthday last year to take me to the library. It didn't happen because the plane was delayed too much. And as my roommate said, I don't surprise TSA on people, but he did. And that was his plan, was to take me to Boston to see the library. So we're going to go do that when we're there. So I'm excited for that.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we always like
Wait,
to
the person that posted that you were bringing your single best friend that's
In
hot.
the Discord.
Where
That's
I
all.
wasn't gonna fire.
Yeah, I'm so worried for his life. He's gonna show up, and it's just, yeah, it's not gonna go well for him. I mean, it's gonna go very well, but he's gonna be overwhelmed. He thinks because he got mistaken for a cover model at one signing before that he's like, I got it. I'm like, no. You have
we're a different breed. It is a different breed of women.
We will be putting out a consent video event to make sure that, because like people, like people get in their heads that like people aren't like authors aren't real people or cover models aren't real people and stuff like that. So we want to make sure that everyone like remembers that like
all actually
you have to be okay with touching.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, he is an incredible painter, and he's painting me the NSFW artwork for the trilogy, so I can be like, artist.
They're gonna flip.
Yes.
All right, Miss Alexandria, thank you so much for being here. We had such a fun time. Your hair is a breath of fire, and I'm obsessed with you.
Thank you so much. So is yours.
Thank you.
Yeah. We had so much fun, and like Red said, thank you for being on. What are your socials so everyone can find you?
Oh no! Oh, what are they? Like author _ Alexandria Lee. I think that's it. Something Alexandria. That's it.
We'll be tagging her in the post, anyways. It's fine.
Yeah, you guys don't worry. We will have her in the notes. You'll see her on the Instagram. No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you again so much for coming on, and this was super fun. I really liked our little deep moment. I love those things. I live for that. Like you live for like angst. I just live for like emotion. I'm really excited to read your books.
Oh, thank you.
All right, you guys. Well, make sure to check out our podcast, the Dark Collective Podcast, on Instagram. Also, the link in our bio. We are on all platforms on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Kindle, and Amazon every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern. So thanks, you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye.